Hey there, Elena Strongbow. I'm playing Shroud of the Avatar. Elena is my in-game name. I just wanted to touch briefly on the topic of housing. Housing is probably one of the more interesting parts of Shroud of the Avatar, and your ability to own houses and land in there. But it is two different things, owning land and owning a house. So I'm going to talk about land at this point. There are really three types of towns inside of Shroud of the Avatar. There's full NPC, what you consider a city. There's PRTs, which are player-run towns, and then there's POTs that are player-owned towns. NPC cities basically are full-on cities, got NPC characters, and a lot of the cities will have plot lines and stuff where you can engage the NPCs and whatnot. Player-run towns are basically an NPC town without all the NPCs in it. So the thing that's unique about both of them is that if you're going to claim a piece of land, you need to have a deed that's suited for them. I'm going to bring up my deed menu here, pull it up here to the center, and you tell I've got two deeds that are in place right now. One's a player-owned town lot deed. What this means is that I can actually grab a piece of land inside a POT, a town that's actually owned by a real person out there, a real player. This village lot deed, you can see it doesn't have player-owned town on it, is a standard what they call place anywhere deed. You'll see them referenced as PADs or place anywhere deed. Basically what this means is I can claim a village-sized lot or smaller in an NPC town or player-run town. With this POT deed, I can only claim a land in a player-owned town. And there's some worries about that. Definitely the ones that you can place anywhere are I can place them anywhere, including a player-owned town. Those are probably more valuable than just a plain old deed or a plain old pot deed. But some people have fear about living in a player-owned town because there's actually a real person that owns it. They do have the ability, though I've not ever seen it. I'm sure it has happened where they can evict people out of there. If you're going to place a house or place your land and grab your spot, in a town that's owned by someone, you definitely don't want to be in a situation where you're there for 3 months and then you get booted. So you have to be mindful of where you're moving to. Make sure you get to know who owns it and such, and make sure that it's something you feel like, okay, yeah, that's going to be a good place. They don't want to kick you out. I mean, they want to have traffic in their town. They want people coming into their town. They want people living there. They want traffic going to people's vendors and stuff. So it's in their interest to have you living there. But you are living in a town that's owned by someone else, and they do control it. That means they can also reshape it to other things around the town as well. So once again, there's just a place anywhere deed like this, and it can be placed in any one of the towns out there. So this deed can claim a village lot in any one of the towns in the game. This player-owned town lot deed can only grab a town lot or smaller in a player-owned town. So I'm going to quickly show you what that looks like here. This is Kingsport. I mean, this is the full-on big city. This is an NPC town. You go in there, there's NPC characters and whatnot. This right here is Berghost, and let me go in there, and I can tell you how you can determine whether a town is owned by someone or whether it's a player-run town or NPC town. First, if you haven't been to SotAmap.com, that's a great place to go to. You can go in there, you can see most of the towns, you can hover over them, and they'll tell you that. But if you look up here, it says Bergos, and it says governed by Holding Grass Plumber. This is actually the character that owns this town, literally owns it. The town has laid it out, decided where lot markers are going to go, basically chose everything about this town. I can come in here and look at the town crier, tell it's got some row lots that are available. It's got some restricted ones, which means he's placed down some spots, but he's restricted access to it. And then here's the couple of people that are in here. It's not that, so it's not occupied. It's, the owner actually has 2 spots, and then it's, maybe 4 other spots here every 5. So it's not that big. It's a smaller one that's out there, but this is actually, said it's owned by someone. They pay their money for it, and they can basically lay it out and design it. They put a big dragon here and put the lots where they want. This is probably a public chest. I'll take a trout. Or yeah. Just being. Let's see if I can. This public chest is something you can actually put. Take something, put something in. So here I'll put let's put a citron. That's a pretty good trade for a trout. So, anyways, I'm just being friendly on that. So this is a player-owned town. So I could, if I wanted to, if I could find a town spot or one of the row spot, I could use my POT deed here. Otherwise, on the if I have the regular deeds, then I can go to the proper cities, the bigger cities. So the sizes of the deeds, you have your smallest one, which is a row lot, then a village, then a town, then a city, then beyond it gets keeps and castles and whatnot. So if I wanted, I can't claim a castle with a row lot deed, but I can claim a row lot deed with a castle deed. So you always have to have, if you want to claim a piece of land or something, you have to actually claim it with a deed that's equal to or larger in the size. The type of deed doesn't determine the taxes. It's the type of lot you claim. So bigger lots cost more in taxes if you don't have a tax-free deed. So if I claimed a row lot with a town deed, I'd still be paying row lot taxes on that. So once you've claimed your lot, you can go around there and see the different ones and claim your lot with your deed. Once you've got that, then you can actually go to the lot and actually place a house. And you can choose all different types of houses, shapes and sizes, elven, kobold, old village styles. There's all different types of houses in the game. I think the most confusing part, it gets around the actual lots themselves. So NPC towns and player-run towns, you need a place anywhere deed. A POT town, a player-owned town, you can use either a POT deed or a place anywhere deed on that. So that's basically the gist of it. There are some spots there on the forums to search on it and understand it, but that's the basics of it. So you can tell if if you're inside a town that's player owned, it'll say governed by and then whoever it is, and then you can go from there. So anyways, that was it. Hope you found that useful. Take care. Have a good one.